Good men exist. The only reason why a whole bunch of women are not finding them is because good men do not go to clubs. They do not go to bars. They do not go where there is going to be chaos. Good men stay at home, where they know they have some peace and quiet. Because good men value their peace. Good men also keep their circle of friends small because they can tell the difference between a good person and a bad person. If they associate with a bad person, then they're not a good person now, are they? Good men value the friendships that they have, and they value what they believe in. So good men are not going to be surrounding themselves with bad people because that would ruin their peace. They would prefer to be with a small group of friends who have the same values as them, who value peace. A lot of good men also stay at home with their wives and children because they value families. A lot of good men also go to church because they know that that's where their values lie, because they know that church is what makes them a good man. So if you want to know where all the good men are, they're sticking to themselves because they value their peace and quiet.
There's not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
100% a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
That's not a lie to me.
Listen.
What?
There's not a lot of good men who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. There's a lot of good men out there where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rocker in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Okay. And you in LA. If you in LA or anywhere LA adjacent, your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to be born pretty or wake up pretty. But when you leave your house, you're going to be pretty. So everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. When have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. My dad wasn't shit. There's plenty of good men. They just don't want your ass.
Whoop. He said it. I didn't.
You see online, yeah, and this is what my beef is with the red pill community and nice guys even. You see a lot of nice guys. You lot break your own hearts. I'm tired of hearing guys online bitching and crying. Women don't like nice guys. They don't want good guys, whatever. My brother, you broke your own heart. Does that make sense? The problem with a lot of you nice guys is you want to be liked so much that you'll abandon yourself, you'll abandon your dignity just so a girl can like you. It's mad. And secondly, the problem with a lot of you nice guys as well, you act like women are supernatural creatures that don't eat and go to the toilet and drink water and breathe oxygen just like you. They're not different, they're not godly beings, they're not divine people, they are humans just like you. Does that make sense? And that's the problem with the nice guy. Let me tell you something here. Just the other day, I was operating out of my own nature, yeah? I tried to live up to what social media says is a good boyfriend or a good partner. And I realized I was operating out of my nature. So you know what I did? I went home and I ran a bath. You know when you have a baptism and you go in the water and you come out born again? I dipped myself in the water and I came out wicked. Yeah? Because let me tell you something. When I was a horrible person, I didn't have problems with women. When I changed and became a nicer guy and a kinder guy, I got taken advantage of. Does that make sense? What a lot of nice guys fail to understand is this. That gender does not care if you're a nice person or a good person. They care if they're attracted to you or you have something to offer. Does that make sense? And the saddest thing about nice guys is, yeah, a lot of nice guys have very good jobs. They have so much going for themselves. And you let that creature use you. Why? I don't get it. Like, you see, you'll get all these nice guys killing themselves and stressing themselves out and going mad. And the woman they're doing it for, it's like, you look at her and you think, why? If you take that woman and you drop her in the middle of Miami, she's invisible. She's looking like Sue Storm. She's not who you think she is. Does that make sense? A lot of you nice guys have a wicked granddad or a wicked great grandfather. Learn how to channel his spirit from beyond the grave if you have to. Say, grandfather, guide me. But stop being nice. Stop being a good guy. It's not doing nothing for you. I know women who stayed in relationships with men that beat up their dad. Imagine that. Punched up her dad. Yeah? Dad tried to step in for his daughter, just got bare rib shots. Pap, pap, pap. He's on the ground, talking like them people that have the voice box. Call the police. Yeah? And she still stayed with him. What does that tell you? Imagine that. A man 8 trigrammed and 64 palmed your pops and you stay with him. That should teach you. They've shown you online, they've shown you in life, they do not care if you're a nice person. Be valuable, be lit, have something to offer. Be a decent person, don't be nice. Be good enough. Yeah? And that's what I always say, like, a lot of you guys broke your own hearts, bro. Do you understand? Go with women that align with you. Go with women that mirror you. If you are a nice, sweet guy, go and find yourself a nice, sweet girl. A lot of you nice guys with good jobs, good households and all of these things, you lot go and pick up a hood rat that has anger issues and you're crying because she broke your heart. Of course she broke your heart. She's chaotic. That's where she comes from. You did that to yourself. So I think a lot of the nice guys need to take accountability. They're always complaining women don't take accountability. No, you take accountability. Yeah? You broke your own heart, my brother. Do you understand? I'll even give you a story. You see, back in the days, I would have been about 19. There was this girl I was chatting to, but I flew up to her uni to go see her. So obviously, she showed me some local restaurant around her uni, innit? We went there to eat, whatever, nice little date, and I drop her back to her accommodation. She's like to me, oh, so what, don't you want to come upstairs? So I went upstairs and I spent the night at her accommodation, yeah? But when we're in the room and I'm kicking off my shoes to make myself comfortable, she gets a phone call. And when she gets a phone call, there's one guy on the other side of the phone. One guy, I think he's in her class. He was in her class. And he's like, oh, what are you doing? I really want to see you, etc., etc. Do you know what she said to him? I can't see you today because I'm in the library studying. Imagine that. She wasn't in the library. She's with me. Do you get my point? College times, I would have been about, 17. There was one girl here. She looked like Meg Thee Stallion. No word of a lie, but short. Cold. Do you understand? And me and her was talking. And the guy she was with was talking to her about marriage and families, gassing her up, writing her love letters, all these things, yeah? I spoke to her for 1 week. Guess who got to touch her first? Me. Do you understand? She was with me. And halfway through it, she was crying, saying, I can't believe I'm doing this to him. Well, you've done it now. No use crying. What's done is done. Do you understand? When I went back to college and I see this guy holding her hand and swinging hands and talking about, oh, my girl, nobody's like my girl, I used to look at that you and laugh at him. I thought, you're a punk. Do you understand? Stop being nice. Be decent. Yeah? That's my lesson for today. And now I'm moving on.
Good men do exist. They're just not where people are looking for them anymore. You won't find them stumbling out of bars at 2 a.m. You won't see them shouting over loud music or pretending to be someone they're not. They've already done that phase. They've seen what's out there, and they chose peace instead. It's not that they disappeared. It's that they got tired. Tired of the noise. Tired of the games. Tired of being surrounded by people who mistake chaos for fun. See, a lot of women ask, where are all the good men? But the real question is, where aren't they? They're not in the clubs because they know that nothing real grows in chaos. They're not in the bars because they've realized that peace doesn't live at the bottom of a glass. And they're not on the streets chasing attention because they've learned that attention doesn't equal affection. Good men used to go out. They used to socialize, meet people, give it a shot. But every time they did, they came home feeling emptier. Because what they saw out there wasn't connection. It was performance. Let's be real. The bar scene isn't about connection anymore. It's a stage. Everyone's dressed like they're auditioning for the same role. The one who looks like they have their life together. The women pretend they're not looking. The men pretend they don't care. Everyone's trying to look like they're winning, and no one actually is. And the good men, they started to notice the pattern. The same fake smiles, the same surface-level conversations, the same loud laughter that covers quiet loneliness. So, one day, they just stopped showing up. Not out of arrogance, but out of awareness. Because when a man learns to value peace, he stops chasing chaos disguised as fun. That's the part people don't get. They think good men are boring because they don't go out, but in reality, they're just done performing. They're done pretending that loud rooms filled with strangers somehow make you more alive. The truth is, most men who've lived a little, they've already been through enough storms. They've had their hearts broken, their trust tested, their time wasted. And now, they're not looking for the next thrill. They're protecting their peace like it's gold. That's why they stay home. That's why they keep their circle small. Because they've learned the hard way. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you guard. And guarding peace means you stop entertaining things that drain it. You stop hanging out with people who thrive on drama. You stop chasing validation from people who wouldn't notice you if you stopped giving them attention. You stop mistaking noise for meaning. You just stop. And that's when life gets quiet. Not lonely. Quiet. Because there's a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is what happens when you're missing other people. Solitude is what happens when you finally find yourself. And that's what good men have done. They've found comfort in their own space. They've learned to cook their own meals, fix their own problems, and enjoy their own company. They don't need a crowd to feel alive. They just need peace, purpose, and maybe a playlist that hits right at midnight. And funny enough, that's when women start to notice. They start asking, where did all the good men go? Because now the only men left at the bar are the players, the broken ones, and the ones still chasing attention because they don't know who they are without it. Meanwhile, the good men are at home, sleeping better, thinking clearer, becoming stronger. They're working on themselves. They're building something real. And that energy, that quiet confidence, that's what women pick up on. You can't fake that kind of peace. It shows. A man who's at peace moves differently. He's not desperate. He's not trying to impress anyone. He's not chasing. He's choosing. And that energy hits different in a world full of people begging to be noticed. Because peace is rare now. And when you've seen enough chaos, peace becomes the most attractive thing in the world. You can feel it in his tone, in his eyes, in the way he talks. Slow, measured, calm. Like he's not trying to convince you of anything. That's what happens when a man stops living for attention. He starts living with intention. But here's the irony. The same society that complains about not finding good men is the one that taught men to drown their peace in noise. Go out more. Live a little. Don't be boring. But good men figured something out. Being boring is underrated. Because boring just means stable, reliable, peaceful. And you know what? That's what women end up craving later. Not the loud guy at the club, not the smooth talker at the bar, but the man who's content in silence, because silence with him feels safe. That's the difference. Chaos excites you for a night, but peace fulfills you for a lifetime. So yeah, good men aren't out there anymore. They're home, with their wives, with their kids, with their dogs, or maybe just by themselves, finally at peace after years of confusion. They're spending Friday nights reading, watching documentaries, lifting weights, learning new skills, not because they're antisocial, but because they'd rather grow than decay. They're tired of wasting their time on conversations that don't lead anywhere, on people who don't mean anything, on nights that end in regret. They've outgrown the need to escape because their life doesn't feel like a trap anymore. And women can feel that absence. The energy in the room is different now. You can't replace genuine masculine calm with volume or bravado. It's like removing the foundation from a house. The whole structure starts to wobble. Good men grounded the world around them. They brought balance. And when they stepped back, everyone felt it, even if they couldn't explain why. Because you can't fake peace. You can't imitate authenticity. You either have it or you're still searching for it. And the truth is, the men who found it aren't coming back to the chaos they escaped. Not for fun, not for attention, not even for love. Because once a man knows what peace feels like, noise becomes unbearable. So maybe it's time to stop asking, where are all the good men? And start asking, what kind of world have we built that good men no longer want to be in it? Because that's the deeper truth. They didn't vanish. They evolved. They got tired of proving their worth to people who can't recognize it. They got tired of explaining their values to people who mock them. They got tired of giving loyalty to a culture that celebrates betrayal. So they walked away. And now they're happier, calmer, more focused. And ironically, that's what makes them more attractive than ever. Because peace, real peace, can't be faked. And when you meet a man who's made peace his priority, you'll know. He's not loud. He's not flashy. He doesn't need to be. He's just present. And in a world that's addicted to distraction, that's power. So yeah, good men exist. They always have. You just stop seeing them because they stop needing to be seen. And that's the quiet revolution no one's talking about.